ఏది నేను కోరినా నా కోసం కాదు.
Bhagavan does not expect
ఏది
anything.
నేను చెప్పినా నా కోసం కాదు.
He doesn't say anything for himself.
ఏది నేను చేసినా నా కోసం కాదు.
Nothing is done for him.
నాకేది అక్కర్లేదు.
Bhagavan doesn't want anything.
కానీ నాకు ఒక్కటి మాత్రం కావాలి.
But Bhagavan wants one thing.
ప్రేమ మాత్రం నాకు కావాలి.
Bhagavan wants your love.
ప్రేమ కూడా not your property.
Love is not your property.
That is also my property.
Your love is Bhagavan's property.
हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, साई तुम ही जानते, साई तुम ही जानते, साई तुम ही जानते, साई तुम ही जानते, दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो साई, 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 तुम हमारे प्राण हो, तुम हमारे प्राण हो, तुम हमारे प्राण हो, तुम हमारे प्राण हो, हमको तुमसे प्यार है, हमको तुमसे प्यार है, we love you, dearest Lord, we love you, we love you, dearest Lord, we love you.
భగవంతుడు ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాడో అక్కడ కనిపించుకోకుండా, తెలుసుకోకుండా, మీరు తెలుసుకోకుండా ఎక్కడ కూడా మీరు వెతికితే మాత్రం ఎట్లా తిప్పుతాడు.
When you don't find God where you have to find, if you are in search of Him elsewhere,
ఎక్కడ
how do you
చూసినా
expect to
ఉన్నాడు
see
భగవంతుడు.
Him? God is everywhere.
అయితే
However,
ప్రేమ స్వరూపంతో ఉన్నాడు.
but He is the embodiment of
ఆ
love.
ప్రేమ దగ్గర పోయి నీ వెతుకు,
Search there where there is love.
ప్రేమతో వెతుకు.
Search with love.
విత్ గాడ్,
With God.
టు గాడ్,
To God.
ఫర్ గాడ్, ఫ్రమ్ గాడ్.
From
ఈ యొక్క
God.
దీంతో నువ్వు తీసుకుంటే అంత గాడే.
నీవు లేని మా జీవనం, నీవు లేని మా జీవనం, నీవు లేని మా జీవనం, నీవు లేని మా జీవనం, నీరు లేని చేపవేదనం, నీరు లేని చేపవేదనం, నీరు లేని చేపవేదనం, నీరు లేని చేపవేదనం, నీ సన్నిధే మాకు పెన్నిధి, నీ సన్నిధే మాకు పెన్నిధి, నీదు చూపే ప్రాణ సమానం, నీదు చూపే ప్రాణ సమానం, నీకు మాకు ఒకే బంధము, నీకు మాకు ఒకే బంధము, అది ప్రేమ బంధము.
మీరు చేయవలసిన సాధన ప్రేమ తత్వమే.
It's only what we have to achieve.
లవ్
is this
లవ్
love.
లవ్ లవ్.
हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, हमको तुमसे प्यार कितना, साई तुम ही जानते, साई तुम ही जानते, दिलों की धड़कन तुम हो साई, दिलों की धड़कन गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ पुरुषो ह वै नारायणो कामयतः प्रजा सृजेयेति नारायणात् प्राणो जायते मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिरापः पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी नारायणात् ब्रह्मा जायते नारायणाद् रुद्रो जायते नारायणादिन्द्रो जायते नारायणात् प्रजापतयः प्रजायन्ते नारायणाद्वादशादित्या रुद्रावसवः सर्वाणि च छन्दागुंसि नारायणाद्देव समुत्पद्यन्ते नारायणे प्रवर्तन्ते नारायणे प्रलीयन्ते। ॐ अथ नित्यो नारायणः ब्रह्मा नारायणः शिवश्च नारायणः शक्रश्च नारायणः द्यावा पृथिव्यौ च नारायणः कालश्च नारायणः दिशश्च नारायणः ऊर्ध्वश्च नारायणः अधश्च नारायणः अन्तर्बहिश्च नारायणः नारायण एवेदगुं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् निष्कलो निरञ्जनो निर्विकल्पो निराख्यातः शुद्धो देव एको नारायणः न द्वितीयोऽस्ति कश्चित् य एवं वेद स विष्णुरेव भवति स विष्णुरेव भवति। ओमित्यग्रे व्याहरेत् नम इति पश्चात् नारायणायेत्युपरिष्टात् ओमित्येकाक्षरम् नम इति द्वे अक्षरे नारायणायेति पञ्चाक्षराणि एतद्वै नारायणस्याष्टाक्षरम् पदम् यो ह वै नारायणस्याष्टाक्षरम् पदमध्येति अनबभ्रुवः सर्वमायुरेति विन्दते प्राजापत्यगुं रायस्पोषं गौपत्यम् ततो मृतत्वमश्नुते ततो मृतत्वमश्नुत इति य एवं वेद प्रत्यगानन्दं ब्रह्म पुरुषं प्रणवस्वरूपम् अकार उकार मकार इति तानेकदा समभरत्तदेतदोमिति यमुक्त्वा मुच्यते योगी जन्म संसार बन्धनात्। ॐ नमो नारायणायेति मन्त्रोपासकः
वैकुण्ठभुवनलोकं गमिष्यति। तदिदं परं पुण्डरीकं विज्ञानघनं तस्मात् तदिदावन्मात्रम् ब्रह्मण्यो देवकी पुत्रो ब्रह्मण्यो मधुसूदनो सर्वभूतस्तमेकं नारायणं कारणरूपमकार परब्रह्मोम् एतदथर्वशिरो योधीते प्रातरधीयानो रात्रिकृतं पापं नाशयति सायमधीयानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति माद्यन्दिनमादित्याभिमुखो धीयान पञ्चपातकोपपातकात् प्रमुच्यते सर्ववेदपारायण पुण्यं लभते नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत्। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पम् पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो अग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसंयसाहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामां कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पुरुषस्य विद्मसहस्राक्षस्य महादेवस्य धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो नन्दिः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे चक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो नन्दिः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नः षण्मुखः प्रचोदयात् तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे सुवर्णपक्षाय धीमहि तन्नो गरुडः प्रचोदयात् वेदात्मनाय विद्महे हिरण्यगर्भाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् वज्रनखाय विद्महे तीक्ष्णदग्गुष्ट्राय धीमहि तन्नो नारसिंहः प्रचोदयात् भास्कराय विद्महे महद्युतिकराय धीमहि तन्नो आदित्यः प्रचोदयात् वैश्वानराय विद्महे लालीलाय धीमहि तन्नो अग्निः प्रचोदयात् कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गिः प्रचोदयात् ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां
करुणानिधे पाहि मां
हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां
करुणानिधे पाहि मां
श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां
श्रीगणनाथ संरक्ष मां
श्री गणनाथ संरक्ष मां
श्रीगणनाथ संरक्ष मां
निज भक्ति मुदं देहि
निज
मां
भक्ति मुदं देहि मां
निज भक्ति मुदं देहि
निज
मां
भक्ति मुदं देहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जगदम्बा सुत रक्ष मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
जय लंबोदरा पाहि मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
शरणागत रक्ष मां
हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां
हे करुणानिधे पाहि मां
श्रीगणनाथ संरक्ष माम्
श्रीगणनाथ संरक्ष माम्
निज भक्ति मुदं देहि 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 माम् जय लंबोदरा पाहि माम्।
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
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 ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
ओम हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
ओम हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा ओम। जय मां दया करो साई मां
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 मुक्ति प्रदायिनी प्रेम प्रदायिनी शांति प्रदायिनी 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 मां
जननी मां जननी जग जननी साई मां
जननी मां जननी जग जननी साई मां
जग जननी साई माँ।
जननी माँ जननी जग जननी साई माँ।
दया करो साई माँ जय माँ।
दया करो साई माँ जय माँ।
कृपा करो साई माँ।
कृपा करो साई माँ।
जय माँ जय माँ। दया करो साई माँ।
जय माँ जय माँ। दया करो साई माँ।
मुक्ति प्रदायिनी प्रेम प्रदायिनी शांति प्रदायिनी माँ।
मुक्ति प्रदायिनी प्रेम प्रदायिनी शांति प्रदायिनी माँ।
जननी माँ जननी जग जननी साई माँ।
जननी माँ जननी जग जननी साई माँ।
दया करो साई माँ जय माँ।
दया करो साई माँ जय माँ।
कृपा करो साई माँ।
कृपा करो साई माँ।
जय माँ जय माँ। दया करो साई माँ।
साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर। साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर। साई राम साई श्याम साई लक्ष्मी नारायण। साई राम साई श्याम साई लक्ष्मी नारायण। साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर। तुम अल्लाह तुम मौला तुम बुद्धा तुम महावीर। तुम अल्लाह तुम मौला तुम बुद्धा तुम महावीर। तू ही मंदिर तू ही मस्जिद तू ही गिरजा तुम सब हो। तू ही मंदिर तू ही मस्जिद तू ही गिरजा तुम सब हो। साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर साई राम साई श्याम साई लक्ष्मी नारायण साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर तुम अल्लाह तुम मौला तुम बुद्धा तुम महावीर तुम अल्लाह तुम मौला तुम बुद्धा तुम महावीर तू ही मंदिर तू ही मस्जिद तू ही गिरजा तुम सब हो तू ही मंदिर तू ही मस्जिद तू ही गिरजा तुम सब हो साई ब्रह्मा साई विष्णु साई पार्वती शंकर
चित्रावती तट विशाल सुंदर साई चित्रावती तट विशाल सुंदर साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई मेरे बाबा साई मेरे बाबा साई यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई शिरडी बाबा साई तट विशाल सुंदर साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई मेरे बाबा साई यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य साई शिरडी बाबा साई और दी बाबा साई शिरडी बाबा साई और दी बाबा साई मेरे बाबा साई मेरे बाबा साई चित्रावती तट विशाल सुंदर साई
Sing the name of the Lord, Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama.
Sing the name of the Lord, Sai Rama, Sai Rama, Sai Rama.
Sing the name of the
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की।
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 राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की। शंभु कुमारा हरो हरा
शंभु कुमारा हरो हरा।
शंभु कुमारा हरो हरा
शंभु कुमारा हरो हरा।
शिव शंकरी बाला हरो हरा
शिव शंकरी बाला हरो हरा।
शिव शंकरी बाला हरो हरा
शिव शंकरी बाला हरो हरा।
उमा सुता षण्मुखा गुहा
उमा सुता षण्मुखा गुहा।
उमा सुता षण्मुखा गुहा
उमा सुता षण्मुखा गुहा।
शिव शरवण भव हरो हरा
शिव शरवण भव हरो हरा।
शिव शरवण भव हरो हरा
शिव शरवण भव हरो हरा।
पळनि गिरीशा हरो हरा
गिरीशा हरो हरा।
कोटपति पुरेशा हरो हरा
पति
भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शंभु कुमारा हरोहरा
कुमारा हरोहरा
शिव शंकरि बाला हरोहरा
शिव शंकरि बाला हरोहरा
उमासुता षण्मुखा गुहा
उमासुता षण्मुखा गुहा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
पळनिगिरीशा हरोहरा
गिरीशा हरोहरा
पुटपातिपुरीशा हरोहरा
पतिपुरीशा हरोहरा
हर 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 शिव 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 शिव
हर 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 शिव 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 शिव
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शिव शरवण भव हरोहरा
शंभु कुमारा हरोहरा शिव शंकरि बाला हरोहरा
ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ 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 ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ 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 ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಭೋ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ ಶಂಕರ ಓಂ ಶಿವಾಯ
श्रीनारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तो सिद्धबोध तो कंठ विनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु शक्ति तु यशो पिता प्रभु तो रुद्र विष्णु तो राम कृष्ण तो रहे बटाओ तो रहे बटाओ तो वासुदेव ईश्वरो बधु चिदानंद हरिदो अद्वितीय तो अकाल निर्मय आत्मलिंग शिव तो
असतो मा सत्यमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय.
Om Shri Sai Ram. In his discourse on the 21st of November 1985, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba gave 10 guiding principles that should govern our lives. Join me in reciting these 10 guiding principles. Number 1. Love and serve your country. Do not be critical of others' countries. 2. Honor and respect all religions as pathways to God. 3. Love all humanity as part of your family. Know that humanity is a single community. 4. Keep your home and surroundings clean. 5. Help the needy with food, clothing, and shelter. Help them become self-reliant. 6. Be examples of honesty. Do not participate in any activity such as bribery or corruption. 7. Curb jealousy, envy, and hatred. 8. Develop self-reliance. Become your own servant before proceeding to serve others. 9. Adore God, abhor sin. 10. Observe your country's laws and be an exemplary citizen. Jai Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our Almighty and all-compassionate Lord, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and a loving Sai Ram to all our brothers, sisters, respected elders and children tuned in tonight. We hope that with Swami's grace, you and your families are healthy and happy. We also hope that you are still on a spiritual high from the Mahashivaratri celebrations this week. Swami's quote for today: You must be a lotus, unfolding its petals when the sun rises in the sky, unaffected by the slush where it is born or even the water which sustains it. Sri Satya Sai Baba. The announcements for this week are as follows. Gayatri Mantra chanting. We humbly ask all devotees to continue with chanting the Gayatri Mantra 3 times a day, and if possible, let us all chant together at 6 p.m. 108 times. Vedam recitals. Daily online Vedam sessions continue at 5 a.m. in the morning, 6 p.m. in the evening. Please do take advantage of this amazing opportunity to learn these sacred texts. Prayer for healing. A WhatsApp group has been created to allow devotees to pray for those in need of healing or upliftment. If you have a family member, friend, or any person who needs prayer, please contact any of the national devotional coordinators to post the request on this group. Go Green infographic for the week. Swami says, many natural catastrophes are entirely due to man's behavior. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, wars, floods, famines, and other calamities are the result of grave disorders in nature. These disorders are traceable to man's conduct. Man has not recognized the integral relationship between humanity and the world of nature. Satya Sai Baba, November 22, 1992. Sri Satya Sai EHV. Applications are invited for an intermediate certificate course in Sri Satya Sai EHV. Only students who have completed course 1 are eligible to apply. The course commences on 2nd April 2022 and will run for 1 year. Please do register online by 15th March 2022. A link will be provided with more information about the course as well as a link for registration. Prospective students will be notified if their application is successful, as space is limited. For further inquiries, please contact either Sister Maggie Perumal or Sister Roshni Singh. Swami is beyond boundaries. He speaks through each one of us. Only in the depth of silence can we hear him. Only in the depth of silence he can hear our prayers. Surrender to him with complete faith and devotion, and you shall experience him from within. This leads us to our discourse for tonight, entitled, Anything is Possible When Sri Satya Sai is on Your Side, by Sister Karuna Munshi. Please have a safe and blessed week. Jai Sai Ram.
I was really struggling as a person who was newly married. I had a full-time job as a sub-editor in a news magazine, and living in a big city like Delhi, a lot of time went in commuting, and I was running a home for the first time and dealing with the new family and whatnot, everything that comes in the wake of settling down for working women. At that time, I had a call for an important interview, and I had already cleared an exam, a written exam, to join the Government of India's Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, would put out some positions as news reporters and correspondents and so on for Doordarshan India. So I had somehow, with Swami's grace, passed the written exam, and I got a call for an interview for which I was not prepared, and I had no time to prepare. And in my heart, I was a little bit worried, but I didn't even say a prayer except, Swami, what am I going to do? Swami, what am I going to do? And that is just when Swami came in my dream and told me exactly what I would have to study. He told me to focus on the situation in Punjab, and gave me a Pad Namaskar, and everything was very vivid. I remember Aarti being offered. I remember the priest also in the prayer hall, and the dream ended. I woke up. I told my husband I have to study about Punjab because Swami told me to, and I think out of respect for me, he must have just nodded, but he must have been wondering what this girl is all about. And then I go to my office and I find a magazine on my neat desk with the Frontline magazine, which said the cover story was Turmoil in Punjab. It just rang a bell. Swami told me to read on Punjab. Let me keep this magazine. I folded and I stuck it in my handbag, and I went about my work. When I went home, I read this magazine from front cover to the back cover and all the way back again, and it had a picture of a man called Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale on the cover page holding a big gun. He was the person who was leading the secessionist movement for Khalistan in Punjab, and all around there were little boxes, inset boxes, with pictures of all the key players, the chief of the police, the politicians, and other people. So I read this magazine, and on the day of the exam, for further security, I wore the sari that Swami had given me for my master's degree, because with his own hand, I thought more protection. And I went for this interview quite confident. When I went to Mandi House on Copernicus Marg in Delhi, we were in a nice conditioned waiting room, and I realized that everybody else was a who's who from the world of media, people from Hindustan Times, Indian Express, Times of India, very veteran compared to me, very, very seasoned journalists. And when they went for the interview, they all came out shaken and sweating. And I said, we all said, what happened? They all started saying there was a very tough panel of some senior people there who were asking questions. And they were talking about all these topics about which I knew nothing. So somebody said it was about the budget. Somebody said railway. Somebody said India's refusal to sign the non-proliferation treaty. Somebody said something. I asked everybody, did they ask a question about Punjab? They said, no, Punjab, nobody asked. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I got so nervous, I actually went to the restroom and I saw my face in the mirror. I was perspiring so heavily, and my cotton sari was like a mopping cloth because I was so nervous. I was like, Swami, should I now spoil your name? Because my resume says I'm from the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Sai Ram gold medalist and all, and here I'll cut such a sorry figure. Should I run away? And then, or should I go ahead and make a fool of myself? And then, I remembered What did Krishna tell Arjuna? Fight it out and all that. So I gave myself a little pep talk in the toilet. I chanted some Gayatri. I came out. When they called me for the interview, there was a panel of 3 very senior, very professional looking gentlemen. And there was a camera on the side, and much like the camera here and here. And they asked me some pleasantries, and we exchanged some good notes. And they asked me what I do in my current job. And then all the small talk was over. Then one of the senior persons, he cleared his throat and he said, Mrs. Munshi, let's say you get hired for this job and you're asked to do a story. Now, let's say we ask you to do a cover story, a reporter on a story from the situation in Punjab. How would you go about it? You're clapping a bit too soon. So, little knowledge is a dangerous thing. So here I was rattling all the information I had read in that Frontline magazine. I had read it back to front and front to back also. And I was like talking about this, talking about that. Then they said, who would you like to, okay, if you're doing this story, who would you like to interview? I said, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, and all the guys in the little inset boxes on the cover page of Frontline magazine. I named the police chief, I named the politicians involved and all that. And they said, that is very nice. But have you ever considered the thought that if you're going to give airtime to a man who wants to break this country and put him on national television and give him an opportunity to state and present his case to the nation and say why Punjab is wronged and why it is legit for Punjab to break away from the rest of the Indian Union. Are you doing your job well? This was not anywhere on that Frontline magazine, right? So I was absolutely flabbergasted, and I was like, Swami, I don't know the answer to that. Ye to aapne nahi bataya tha. So what am I supposed to do? I'm like, Swami, speak now, help me, please, and your time starts now. And he started. The first word that came out of my mouth was, momentarily, yes. It would seem like we are giving a man who wants to break the unity of this nation, time on a national television and let him present his case to the whole nation. But don't forget, the Indian voter has come of age. These were not my words. I was hearing them and saying, very nice, this is sounding great. And I argued a case for and I started using Russian jargon. I don't know from where. I said, this is the age of glasnost and perestroika. And Indian media has to make a switch from being state-controlled and stifled to a little bit more democracy so that it builds its own credibility. And these 3 gentlemen are nodding and looking at me with a lot of credibility. And I have no idea who was speaking through me, whose wisdom was coming out in my voice. But later I realized that one of the persons on that panel was a person named Mr. Bhaskar Ghosh, and he was the Director General of Doordarshan at that time, and he was known for his admiration for the concept of glasnost. That's why I was speaking Russian jargon beyond my control. Perestroika. Do you normally use such words? Momentarily, yes. That wasn't my language. I was arguing like a well-trained, well-prepared lawyer. And that day I knew the moment I think of those 2 lotus feet, I will always be rescued. And not to mention, obviously I got the job with flying colors. I learned so much doing that job. I had great opportunity to interview many media newsmakers, whether from India or all over the world. And the training that I received actually at FTII in Pune, I was sent here for learning electronic news gathering and documentary making. And at that time also, I came to Bombay during my training and stayed with my sister here, Velina Visrodia, at that time also. And I was in Mumbai. And then I was further trained in Delhi and elsewhere. And Swami was preparing me for, we all know, for many things that came my way when I worked for the Satyasai movement, for which I had no formal training outside of the professional training that I received.
जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी सत्य
शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थमिष्टार्थं मोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं हृदयाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थमिष्टार्थं मोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं हृदयाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थमिष्टार्थं मोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं हृदयाश्रयामि।
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात् 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 ॐ
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।